Welcome. I have the divine mandate to talk about the spirituality in human sexuality. Yes, I said I have the divine mandate to talk about the spirituality in human sexuality. In fact, the only one in the whole wide world giving the divine mandate to talk about the spirituality in human sexuality. That brings our topic, the spirituality in sexuality. And who gave me? God. Who has the spirituality? Who has the sexuality? Who has the human being? If you doubt me, I said go and ask him. But let's journey together. For he equipped me to do that, which I put in my paper. So we shall journey together with my paper. Then we discuss. Questions and comments, we take it together. Let's go. Our world is the world of duality and opposites. And the problem of sex is caused by the problem of duality. Man and woman, for we are humans. The world of opposite, good and bad, white and black, this which presupposedly God created to balance the ecosystem, to balance the world he has created. But certainly, either something is wrong somewhere with man, or God may not have done it correctly, which is impossible, for God is good all the time. But in the world, there is a problem of sexuality, but certainly there is a spirituality in human sexuality when we look at it very well. And man ought to know this. And that is why I was given a divine mandate to discuss this with you. As an adolescent, I was confronted like all others with incessant sexual arousal, which signified a very healthy young adult with full and firebrand sexual energy. It would have been quite entertaining to exercise this energy, for it is obvious that no excitement from any aspect of human activity is comparable to the pleasure derivable from sexual exercise. As adolescents in every era, the aura and occasion of sex and its discussion was enjoyable, although with much pretense. Everybody keep pretending. And any form of prevention from engaging in sexual discussion or activity was usually frowned upon. There comes the teaching of Christianity on no sex before marriage. Holy Jesus. For the fear of not going to hellfire and for the joy of going to heaven, I do not question, and no one dare question the authority of the of Christian morality on sex. Therefore, the moral principle of no sex before marriage was well taken by me as to make this heaven. But there was still a very big hormonal problem that triggers sexual motivations. Yeah. I have accepted to avoid sex before marriage so as to merit heaven. But God himself had refused to silence the noise of biology at war in me and in you. Sexual motivation triggered by testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, oxytocin, and vasopressin hormones, all joined to try to mess up my going to heaven. This was quite annoying, that God has not ended the sexual noise he created in me and in you, even after we have accepted to obey so as not to miss heaven. However, I was sure of something, that God does not fail. And whatever he does is good. If he does not want to silence the sexual noise in me and in you, even after we have given it up for the sake of his kingdom. He must have a better plan for it. You think so, like me? On inquiry, I also discovered that every healthy human being shares the same sexual predicament like me. That even after you have decided and controlled yourself from every form of sexual activity, you will still be embarrassed with sexual feelings coming from within and outside you. Is it true? I decided to approach God for an answer, since he is the creator and the director of human sexual feelings, as to educate me better, as to share his motive behind human sexual feelings. And that is what this discussion is all about. A communication between God and I on human sexual feelings. This broadcast will solve and settle this problem. Yes, because I have the divine mandate. In fact, the only one who has the divine mandate to talk about this. We shall not make this broadcast too long. We end the session here, to be continued. Your contributions, your questions will help us and direct us better in this. See you again for another episode. Thank you for joining.